la South Africa baningi abantu abafayo through road accidents.
Kodwa njengamakhola akade ethandaza futhi njengoba kade enkonzweni indlela ahambe ngayo ikho right ayindi.
Ngoba noma ngathama ngidakiwe manje yabona ngidrivele umphakathi obviously abantu ngabanika 2 clipper wami yabona bazosuka bona bafaka iclipper bathi ayifaki
sibasela njalo ukuthi namaphupho abo abashiye nawo.
Don't drink and drive abantu bayakulalela nonto le, do they practice it or not?
It kind of freaks me out and it's kind of scary how much actually happens, especially when it gets to sort of like the Easter weekends or the, you know, over the festive season. It's always kind of shocking to hear the statistics of how many people die.
Azizwa buhlungu kakhulu ngabantwana laba abashayo kwakungathi kusha abami abantwana.
Benganamntwana mina ingithi angishare next night. Poetry. Bengishare. And isimo sasekhaya kibo bebas-understand. Ngendlela kungakhona.
Azizwa buhlungu kakhulu ngabantwana laba abashayo kwakungathi kusha abami abantwana. Kwakungathi abantwana bayasha ize bebaphumile. Sengizwile ukuthi sebaphumile ba kodwa ngazizwa ngazuthi abantwana bami bayasha. Sizwa buhlungu kakhulu.
Well, over 20 school children from Sokolumi near Bronkhorstspruit have died in a taxi accident.
This follows a fatal accident between a school bus and a truck on the R25 in Verina that claimed the lives of 18 students and 2 adults.
The minibus they were travelling in was indeed overloaded.
18 of the deceased were school children. The taxi caught fire and everyone was burned beyond recognition.
The R25 is part of the arterial road network that leads to the small town of Bronkhorstspruit, 50 kilometers east of Pretoria. It's a town that in turn connects you to the coal mining hub of Witbank. Our story begins on this road in the town of Bronkhorstspruit. On Friday, the 21st of April 2017, this notorious road, known for its spate of fatal accidents, was once again in the news when 19 school children died in their school minibus. There have been many horrible accidents before on this road, but this particular one gripped the conscience of South Africa. The Maisela family were ripped apart by this tragedy. They lost everything in the burning taxi as all 3 of their children died in a horrible death. The high rate of accidents on our roads can easily make us numb to the tragedy that they are, with the pain and destruction that they bring to families. The Maisela family know this all too well. Every single driver needs to hear their story, for our careless actions on the road are all it takes to wipe out an entire family, a scar that Thandi Maisela carries with her every day.
Kwavela ama-traffic asivimba umkhulu bamthathela umthelo nomthelo umkhulu beke sekamdala naceda umthathela umthelo sahamba saya esikolweni wasimekisa esikolweni sathi nesesibuya nesithi siyangena itruck analivele liyagijima lasishayisa mina angikhafule angifonzela ngaphandle bese ngalandela ngubhuti wami
Mina ngathi nasuka esikolweni ngasuka ngibhorekile ngalala lapha ngathi nangilele ngezwe ngento vele seyiswisa ngathi ngiyabheka na umlilo wavutha ngaphuma ngathi nangiyaphuma ngathola umunye umfana lapha athi ngimdonsa isandla sakhe siphukile ngamdonsa ngamkhiphela ngaphandle
Think business phone zanke ngabona next then abona sekumnyama emihleni wami ngoba ngathi dala ngifikile ekhaya ngafika ngalala ngoba njalo then kwathi mangiphaphama ngaphaphamela ngisese kuyo isasha I try ukuphuma kuyo but angikhona ngiphuma then umunye umama angibona then athaya ukungikhipha nabanye boba bangikhipha bese kwaba ungibona sengisesibhedlela vele
bathi itaxi leya transport yabo yavimba itruck akufanele yona ime ngoba beyithena ngisho ingene itruck lela beli straight kufanele bona beme bamele itruck lela ndlule kumkhathi bangena so umkhulu wangena ngaphambi kwale truck ngoba usiyabonga uthi yena wagcina mayememeza lo baba lo bekade asebenza esikolweni athi mkhulu ungangeni uthi wagcina lapho wazithuka sekaphakathi esikontirini makaphaphama wathi wangazi ukuthi ufike njani phakathi nendlela uthi wasiyabaleka weqa indlela wecela esigangeni waphinde wabe siyakhumbula makasala lapha esigangeni ukuthi ushiye ubhuti wakhe usizwe lapha phakathi eTaxini uthi mayethu uyabuyela lapha wafica itaxi leseyivutha kakhulu waqabanga ukuthi nosizwe naye ushile
Bekuyi Friday kufika usesi wami ongilandelayo bekabuya eDonaldton ka doctor aya kumunye ubaba bathi ngibaba uSibiya athi ucela ukuthi ngimkhaphe khona ngamkhapha okay ayisikhulume nobaba uSibiya sicede sibuye sithe masiphume egedini kababa uSibiya afone futhi umusa athi sesikhabo abompumbi bathola ingozi banabo thapelo endleleni and ikhumbi yabo iyasha nasiza it was khabintuthu
ngisemsebenzini bebida ungena icall kufuna umoya ibhodla ngathusile naye athi ibhakani phela athi abantwana bakho balapha kule taxi na athi abathi phela le taxi yenza ingozi la uma siya lapha na ashaye nje idokisa naye usezangazi ukuthi uthi ngithi kuphi le ngozi athi ngane ngaphambili athi ningaphumi ngabo uma so ajike futhi athi ngicabanga ukuthi nijike nanibiyele ekhaya then mina ngizabuye nginitshele ukuthi kwenzakani ngithi cha ngikwazi ukujika sengila ngijikela yini ungayobheka ukuthi kwenzakani
masifika lapha vele sithola bacima thina sifike vele basacima mangifika lapha ngithola umpomulele phansi bambhandishile lazinyaweni
and then bathi kunabanye abayisibhedlela abayi7 futhi ithembanyana libe khona lithi maybe
ukuthi ngawubuza ngathi kuyi3 na
The minibus they were traveling in was indeed overloaded.
Overloading is one of the biggest dangers on our roads. An overloaded vehicle poses a danger to other motorists on the road because it becomes a hazard.
Mkhulu bekanenkani. Sizama ukuyifuna itransport lenye ukuthi ngabe yasinceda. Kodwa the way ukuthi bebamsaba ini mkhulu angazi ukuthi bebamsaba ini ngoba mina ngahamba ngaze ngawufika even nasesikolweni. Ngizwa ukuthi umkhulu lo ulayisha abantwana ngendlela leqile.
Every car has a weight limit to ensure that it is stable and can brake on time in the event of an emergency.
And abanye abantwana la njengalaba ababo ma grade R angisho basesebancane abebathatha abafake ngale ngemuva ebhuthini abafake khona bese kuthi laba abadala kube masihlalisane phakathi eTaxini. Ngelinye ilanga abashayisa idonki abantwana bami ngabancenga ngathi ngicela ukuthi ningathuki ingozi ihlale yenzeke endleleni qhubekani nigibele bathi ma umkhulu masifike emcansweni itaxi yakhe le icon ukukhuphuka kufanele ukuthi sehle sihambe ngenyawo ibanganyana sicede umcanso mase siucedile umcanso kungikhathi sigibela onke malanga bebana ama complain mababuye esikolweni ukuthi namhlanje sivike ukuthi namhla sivike itruck namhla sivike ukuthi.
When this limit is exceeded because of overloading, there is huge pressure that is placed on the suspension of the vehicle. This in turn increases the possibility of a tire bursting and so causing an unnecessary accident. Do not be a victim. Refuse to be a passenger in an overloaded vehicle.
Mangifika lapha ngithola umpomulele phansi bambhandishile lazinyaweni. Mangifika Mpumi athula ngangiphenduli. ngifuna abanye bangitshela ukuthi hayi abantwana abanye bawile bahatshekile bala omunye abanye bale ngigijime like ngathi ngiyahlanya ngifuna abantwana mangibuya abantwana bekho but itaxi iyavutha iyasha ngibuze ukuthi and then abantwana bathi kunabantwana abaye esibhedlela okay fine abantwana abaye esibhedlela bobani cela amagama abo usesisanele athi sesiki jama ngithi ya ngijamile bathi sisithanda jama so checka kunekhumbi kuthiwa ubabunguni baphungulile wabafaka kwenye ikhumbi athi asikhami sekhaya soba checka endlini mhlambe ikhumbi leya ijikile njengoba ijikeleza bafika ngo4 la ngendlini hayi ngithi okay fine asikhambi ke sibuye size
ngihamba ngifika lapha ngithola ukugcwele kakhulu ngithi ngiyacheka ngithola vele ngithola itaxi seyimlotha vele lapha and then bathi kunabanye abayesibhedlela abayi7 futhi ithembanyana libe khona lithi maybe
sibuye size athi hayi mhlawumbe sizobathola sebafikile ngithi nabangabe bafikile because ngihambe neskiya abakakhambi neskiya ngizokuthola incwadi bazibeke emnyango la ekitchen nangifika ngithole nasivela so akunancwadi ngithi sese akunancwadi lapha ngithi bapha abantwana kani
no ufika ubuza lapha manje laba bayesibhedlela iphi list abayesibhedlela abanye bathi no ibuza ba nabanye bathi lapha na ushona uya lapha abantu bangafuni ukutshela iqiniso ukuthi kwenzakala ngigcine sengiyilwa mina manje ayikhona kanti wayinhle ngingafuni ukukhuluma nangalo musi wayini ngafuni isitshela kanti nokungisishonisa nale kodwa usiphatha ubutaka ukhona lapha avele uthulile akafuni ukukhuluma no ubone vele isikhathi nasengiyilo lapha ngoba ngifuna ukwazi ukuthi ilist ngawani ngafonela lapha esibhedlela nibuze ukuthi wani nowani lapha esibhedlela
ngiyene ngendlini ngihlale esofeni kufika uma kufika bobhuti kufika ifamily manje babathapela kasangeni ngendlini vele sekajama ngaphandle abantu bathoma ukungena hey what's
agcineni angibiza athi yabona la kunya athi by 18 and phezulu 18 there by 7 abayisibhedlela and then abuthapela bayakho lapho kule 7 leyo
angitshela ukuthi abantwana basekho ukuze ngawubuza ngathi kuyi-3 na
The Maisela family carry the price tag of the actions of an irresponsible driver. They cannot erase the past, but have to make peace with their loss. The R25 is a tricky road, and there have been many media reports of how dangerous it is. One mistake on roads such as these can be fatal. The Minister of Transport has confirmed that approximately 1,527 people lost their lives during the festive season of 2017. Even though this figure is lower than those of the past years, It's still too high when you consider that other countries such as Norway have recorded only 14 fatalities for the same period of December. The high fatalities on our roads are not just a number, they are a dent on our economy. The latest research indicates that these fatalities cost the economy of South Africa nearly 142 billion rand. This amount could potentially contribute towards housing, education and clinics. More importantly, with each death on the road, the country loses skills and expertise that could go towards building and expanding the economy. These scary numbers remind us that we cannot afford to be careless on the road. In the Bronkhorstspruit road accident, where 19 school children died, South Africa lost the face of the future.
Tapelo, firstborn. Everywhere was a firstborn. People of DJ. Yeah, it was. Tapelo, how much is it? Papa, 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 itafula, papa, papa. Tapelo yarasa. Mama, one day, zongbone TV. Yeah, zongbone TV marangte washizija. Mama nya DJ ya. Kahlale ngalemva kwendlu ayoshala ma drums. Abize laba basekhaya bayithusa busisona nokuthula. Boshaya ama drums la ubuya baya DJ. Umina ngathi poporo popopopo yena ushaya ama drums a DJ. Yes, bese nebhola ya. Ibhola yona vele yawo. Ngikutshela kahle athi yo mama ibhola. Ngizovela TV ngebhola.
Usukuthi bengabona la phansi maybe kuna indishi or ini. Sometimes ngibizwa ngaphandle emotweni ngikhohle something ngizobona ngayiletha.
Wavela nento ipink. Awunokuthula. Ngithe ungithengele into PayPal. Akumbhalo uPayPal. Vele ngizombhala. Ambhale vele ngithe PayPal. Sinayo ama-pads besiwabiza ngama-pampers. Athi mama ama-pampers wakho aphelile because every month ngiyathenga ama-pampers. Mama ama-pampers wakho aphelile kuswethenga ama-pampers. Uzoba ngumama onjani unganama-pampers? Hayi sisi ngizowathenga. Mama mina ngilugqoka nini pampers? Hayi sisi asikafika isikhathi nginethi masifika isikhathi sohlala phasi sikhulume besikhuluma ukuthi ya isikhathi sama-pampers sizofika.
Sihlala sibathanda njalo. Sihlala sibaseka njalo ukuthi namaphupho abo abashiye nawo sizowaphetha.
Akusilulu mara akukho futhi lesingaphinde sithi siyakulungisa ngoba lusokwenzekile sokwenzekile.
Nabafanyana bebhola nasebachazela ukuthi le team manibona iso ayishiyi yakathaphelo.
Road safety begins with me. Even though government can ensure that there are regulations in place to ensure that motorists obey the rules of the road, we as society must take responsibility. We cannot pass the responsibility of our safety to government.
Yahlukumeza kakhulu emphakathini nathi qobo sumndeni wakaNdlovu kanye nomndeni wakaZondi yahlukumeza nje kakhulu.
Abazalwane bebe enkonzweni emvini la ngaphesheya bavele baba nengozi kuthiwa wonke umuntu oshonele lapho umuntu bese emotweni wonke ushonile.
Nohlobo lemoto ke athi lalingekho esimeni sokuthi likwazi ukuthi lithwala abantu abaningi kangaka ya.
Uma ngoba bayibreduna la ekhaya naye kusiswami lo hambile besiza ngasho isikhathi laba abantu nje abanjengama parents sina abasenzela yonke into.
Ngaqala ngacathi ngayitshela ukuthi hayi no balimele. Kodwa sengifika kulela abantu lapha phansi. Ilanga qala khona ukugula emoyeni.
Nje amakhola bengamela ahambe kanje. Ukusi ukufa vele uNkulunkulu uplanele ukuthi uzobalanda kanjani. Kodwa njengamakhola akade ethandaza futhi njengoba kade enkonzweni indlela ahambe ngayo ikho right ayindi.
19 people who lost their lives during this morning's horror taxi crash in Kwatlimba, west of Durban.
17 people have been killed after a minibus taxi plunged off a bridge at Kwatlimba in Camperdown between Pietermaritzburg and Durban.
The driver lost control and rolled down an embankment near a bridge.
Every Sunday morning, Noktula Nonjabulo Ndlovu, along with 18 other churchgoers, would make their way to church in an old bakkie down the Msunduzi Valley in Kato Ridge. However, on the morning of the 20th of August 2017, their trip to church would end in tragedy that claimed the lives of 19 people. Their overloaded bakkie rolled down the embankment of the valley, and even though this bakkie was meant to carry only 14 passengers, on that morning it had 26. Initial reports indicate that the brakes of the bakkie were faulty and so failed. This is an easy excuse. Overloading is one of the major causes of accidents on our roads. This is simply because an overloaded vehicle will be difficult to control, making it very unstable. We also know that the wheels of an overloaded vehicle can easily overheat, increasing the chances of a blowout. All these factors suggest that the Msunduzi Valley accident, like many other accidents, was preventable. Every action has its consequences, and in this case, overloading was the trigger that caused 19 unnecessary deaths.
Kamalami ngobungani ngandlovu kethorisha endaweni yakwaXimba. Endaweni yakwaXimba kuyindawo nje yasemakhaya kodwa amakhaya asithe ukuthuthuka ngoba sekunomgaqo namatiyela nogesi namanzi babantu abaphilayo abantu basendaweni.
Kamala nguNotolo ngwamtolo ngihlala number 5 emkhangathini kwanye endaweni yakanyavu.
Kamala nguzizile ngwamtolo ngihlala emkhangathini endaweni yakanyavu.
Lengozi yenzekala la kabe ingozi yetekisi futhi ayilakisha abantu abangaphezulu kwesibalo. Ngiyacabanga ukuthi ahlula umthwalo wabantu ngoba itekisi ka ayilakisha 14 wabantu kodwa abantu bagcina be26 besemotweni. Nohlobo lemoto ke athi lalingekho esimeni sokuthi likwazi ukuthi lithwala abantu abaningi kangaka ya.
Ngo Saturday imoto yakhe wayeyazi ukuthi inenkinga ama-brake. Khona umuzi wala number 8 aya khona eyobuza ukuthi imalini ukukhanda ama-brake something like that. Emva lokho wahamba wangakakhanda leso sikhathi. Wahamba ngakusasa kusolanda amakhola Sunday. Shuthi wevele azi ukuthi imoto yakhe ayinama-brake kodwa yaqhubeka uyahamba ulanda amakhola.
Yahlukumeza kakhulu emphakathini nathi qobo sumndeni wakaNdlovu kanye nomndeni wakaZondi. Yahlukumeza nje kakhulu ngoba salahlekelwa amalunga amathathu. Sabashiya estopini beya esontweni bona yabo. Sihamba ngemoto even siyokha ihlabathi sokulungisa ekhaya. Mase sibuya omunye waba umshanami angimise athi kunemoto ekuthiwa iginqikile lapho. Asambe malume siyobheka mase ngithi mina ngilashe ihlabathi ngengikwazi ngisaya ekhaya. Ngabe sengifike ekhaya ngaxoxela uma ngathi ma kunemoto ekuthiwa iginqikile lapho ngisayobheka. And mangibafonela abawabamba amafoni omambale noma aya.
Mina bengahlala bengisekhonto bengilenza ngisengase-Pinetown edazeni eCameron Hill. So kuthe ngimhla 20 ekseni ngeSunday ngabona ngafonela ubhuti wami ubevakashile ke la wafika ama-weekend. Kwathi sekwenzeke accident number 9. Abazalwane bebenkonzweni emvweni la ngaphesheya ngoMula uyabonakala bavele baba nengozi. Kuthiwa wonke umuntu oshonile lapho umuntu bese besemotweni wonke ushonile and uma noJabu bebelapho.
Ngafika sebembuziwe kushuthi baningi abantu kodwa ngokuthi ngifuna isiqiniseke ukuthi ekhaya ngifanga ngithi kwenzekeni ngathi mangifika ngayithola ngiphoqekile ukuthi labantu abalele lapha ngibambule ngibone umuntu nomuntu ukuze ngibone abantu basekhaya yabona abantu balapha wonke umuntu wemboziwe ngavele ngawajomba amaphoyisa nama ngazi ni ayivimbile ngaqonda khona ngoba ngifuna ukusiqiniseka ukuthi ukhona ingane sengizwile zisho kodwa kuze ngithumele inkulumo right enesiqiniseko ekhaya ngangibona ngibona okay hayi angimazi lo angazi nami leso sibindi ngasithatha ngambona isomdala ngaqhubeka ngabheka umbala ngimboni ngambona into engimfanisa nombala ngathi haya kuyena ngaqhubeka ngabheka umakhoti kamfowethu ngangamthola le ngithi umbala kuyena kanti kwakuyena
mina bekihlezi ngila ekhaya lo manje bambe kuseni kushaw past 8 then mabehamba bagibela number 5 bese bangasahamba baqhubeka la bebeya khona bese ngifonela umama lo amakhelane lo la kamncube angifonele athi angimemeza athi zizile phuthuma uthenga i-airtime ngizothiwa amakholwa egingqile la ebridgini bese ngiyama mina ngamakhelwane ngicela bangifonise lesikhathi ngisathuma ingane i-airtime mase singifonela ubhuti wami ngiqale ngaye ngithi bhuti sekwenzeka i-accident ngala because ubhuti wami ekhona kulo weekend kanti naye usevele sekhona kwesini ngiyamisa ngifonela uyakhala bese hayi onke amakhola ashonile ngabhiliva leso sikhathi ke bese beza yena nomakhelwane ngabuya ngeza la ekhaya
kuyekuthiwa kubonga kokuhle ngoba kumbe kuthini kanti uNkulunkulu mhlambe kuhle ngokuthi umphefumulo wakhe usewuthathile ubeke endaweni efanele umzimba kufanele uthathe ugcine endaweni efanele futhi
kwaphela kanjalo ngabuka behamba athandaza mase bahamba ke ngahamba lokho nje kwangena ikhona kwagcina njalo.
Nothing comes close to the pain of death. Some deaths can be prevented if we do our part. Getting away with illegal behavior will catch up to you. It always does. Let us not be afraid to do what is right. We only have one life. Let us live it responsibly.
La kaNdlovu ngizoqala nje ngalawa amathathu ngiqale ngosisi omdala noma eseshadile ngoba wakhe eceleni kwasekhaya kodwa uyilunga lethu lomndeni owasilahlekela okungukuthi ushiya abantwana nje bakhe bahlukumezekile abantwana kakhulu ngoba ubaba bengasenaye nathi qobo lethu sahlukumezeka ngokuthi kudlule yena emhlabeni abantwana bakhe bebe u4 uma lo akazondo usisi wami kazondo yena ubemisa umndeni uthokozani loyo uGladness ebeyaziwa ngokuthi ufikile zondi bebembiza ngofikile beke umuntu othanda abantu kakhulu umuntu bebazisa kakhulu abantu endaweni njengakithi baningi abantu amaziyo ngenxa ukuthi abantu nje bebe umuntu ozwana kakhulu nabantu nokuthula nonjabulo Ndlovu omakhwela unkosikazi kamfowethu engimlamayo omdala kunami makhoti kamfowethu neqhaza elikhulu nje emndenini la icikeni behlala nomama isikhathi esiningi umama wami nosisi lomonye bebengaphothi esontweni njengoba wabona badlula engozini nje beyesontweni nayo nonjabulo bebelithanda isonto kakhulu bebathanda abantwana bakhe kakhulu nathi sibathanda futhi njengoba sisabathanda namanje ingane zethu nje nathi
umama ungipheni imtolo behlezi hlela ekhaya ngasonke isikhathi umuntu oyihlekiselayo nje mina ngihlale naye kakhulu bengihlezi nje close naye ngihlezi ngilala naye nje bengihlala naye
mama nje uyathethe nje ukuthi bese mdala ke bese nje umama ube right mama usikhulise kahle nje usifundise indlela e-right ukuthi siphathe kanjani bese imthanda nje nawe besithanda futhi bekwazi ukuthanda abantwana bakhe bonke be-right
ngendlela elinganayo futhi ujabuhlezi kuthola ke loyo nase bese ngambona noma khamba khona into emphethe kabi bengasho behlebe umuntu quiet Buzombona mekusuka uyagula akeza kuthoma amaphilisi uthi awubungasho ngamekuse awukho right. Ahleke wehleze ehleke la. Ngoba yena umuntu osaziyo futhi la ekhaya ukuthi uyasebenza asithengele nje yonke into.
Carrots. Yabona?
Yeah.
Uright vele ucarrots ngathi. Senzela ukuthi imbuzi zingangeni zidle nenkomo. Mawusanda ubethanda ukhola kakhulu manje. Ngamehlo azoyibona inkosi uJehova.
Transport Minister has sent a stern warning to those who do not obey the rules of the road.
Drunken driving, overloading, negligent and reckless behavior on the road are some of the obvious factors that cause road accidents. However, few of us realize the significant role that the incorrect use of restraints such as safety belts and baby seats play in road fatalities. The latest research has shown that 43% of infant fatalities in road accidents were due to the simple fact that they were improperly restrained. According to statistics, there is a direct relationship between a high infant mortality and a declining economy. For developing countries such as ours, this is a price that is too much to bear, and it is up to all of us to change our behavior. A quick trip to the shops is not an excuse to do the wrong thing.
There's nothing worse out there than losing your child. So whatever it is, I can handle it. And I will not wish that upon anybody.
The Mayer family know all too well how a casual trip down the road can turn out to be a nightmare. On this morning's trip, Ina's husband, Dries, made the fatal mistake of not putting their daughter Anna into her seatbelt correctly. Anna refused to be strapped in, and Dries thought it's just a quick trip down the road. Accidents happen when we least expect them to. Each time we get into our cars, we must always remember that the possibility of an accident is a clear and present danger. We simply believe that a trip to the shops or an easy drive in our neighborhood where speed does not exceed 60 kilometers per hour is the safest. We fail to understand the power of force and moving energy and the impact this has on a sitting body. Once you are in a moving car, your body becomes a missile traveling at the speed of the car. In the event that the driver has to slam the brakes, your body can easily fly through the window at great speeds. All of these facts are a sobering, cold comfort for the Mayers.
Had my first child on my birthday, the 20th of May, 1992. We got married in November and she was born the next year, May. She was the sweetest child. Natasha was never a sickly baby. She was never a difficult baby. She was actually really, her first year was quite easy. Her first 2 years was actually quite easy. So it was a Thursday, the 9th of June, 1994. And I went to work that morning. We actually would have gone on leave that next day, me and Dries. We haven't really decided where we want to go yet, but I would have been on 5 weeks leave because that's how much leave I have accumulated. And worked during the day, and then that afternoon, there was no such thing as cell phones in those days. So Dries let me know that he would come and fetch me. And I knocked off at about 4:30. And as I got outside, there was nobody there. And I was quite surprised, and then I thought maybe something happened. Maybe he got waylaid at the day mother or the daycare, or maybe he didn't come from work, so I should maybe just make another plan. And he would not have picked her up. He would have just come from work and picked me up, but he came off earlier because he was going on leave. And he decided to surprise me, and he went to pick He went to pick up Natasha as well. And as he, but she was very finicky and not in a good mood and like really crying. So when he put her onto the back seat, she didn't want him to fasten the safety belt. And he thought, okay, you know what, it's like 10 Ks, I'm just going to quickly go and pick up my wife. And he left her he didn't tie her down. He got into the car and he put his safety belt on because that's the automatic thing that you do. And it was like 2 Ks from home. Another driver in a bakkie drove over a stop street. He must have been doing about 60, if it's that much. And even though he wasn't driving that fast, the impact was so so severe that the bakkie was definitely written off, and the passenger in the bakkie actually died a couple of, like an hour later. Dries was shocked and he got out of the car, and then he realized that, what about Nastasia? And he went to the back of the car and she wasn't there anymore. And when he walked around, she was on the passenger side on the ground, on her knees, and she was lying with her head on her arm, on her hands, and she was crying. So he immediately took her out and tried to calm her down. So in the meantime, while I was trying to get home, this is what was happening to him. It was like a simple trip to come and fetch me, and it ended in an accident. From the time that the accident happened, somebody helped Dries to take my child to my mother-in-law's house so that Dries can sort out the accident scene. When I came to her, she was crying, and I told my mother-in-law, but something's wrong. So we took her to hospital that evening, and the doctors tested her and checked if there's anything wrong. As soon as you press a needle into her foot would actually pull away. So they thought she could feel it. Even though she didn't cry, she wouldn't notice it, but her foot would pull away. So the doctor said maybe it's just like shock that's making her not feel the prick. And he said, no, we have to go home, but if she starts throwing up, we can take her back. So during that night, about very early in the morning, she started throwing up. So I took her back to the hospital. And this time they took x-rays. But still, he said, no, there's nothing wrong with her. You just being paranoid. She's okay, take her home. Took her home again, and that afternoon, my mom called me. And I was actually in tears. And I said, Mom, I don't know what to do. She was potty trained, but she hasn't gone to the toilet. She doesn't want to get up. She's just lying on the bed. She's crying the whole time. She's very listless. And she said, you know what, take her back to the hospital and ask for a different doctor, which we did. But the new doctor saw her and he said to me, there's definitely something wrong. She has to go to Bloemfontein immediately. And they did an MRI scan. The results showed that her spinal cord was severed. It's a T1 injury, and it was like a hot knife through butter. It was totally severed, and it actually pulled away from each other. And they said that due to the fact that we didn't bring her immediately, it actually made it worse because we've been handling her, we picked her up. I mean, what else do you do with your child if she cries? And she was supposed to get steroids. And she never got it in time. So they tried very hard. They immediately gave her steroids, but it was 24 hours after the injury. Thursday morning when we woke up, I moved her into my room at the time, and she was breathing a little bit funny, like she was gasping. And when we got to the hospital, they said that one of her lungs already fell flat.
When Anna turned 3, the mayors decided to throw her a pool party. This joyous occasion soon turned into a nightmare when Anna contracted flu from being in the cold water. Anna's medical condition meant that she was sensitive to the cold. As a result of being in the cold water, one of her lungs collapsed and she was rushed to the hospital.
And when we got to the hospital, they said that one of her lungs already fell flat. She stayed there for 6 months. In that 6 months, we had to learn how to work with her. We had to change our whole lifestyle. You couldn't just pack up a nappy bag and go. You don't realize how much your life changes until you have somebody that's in a wheelchair. She was wearing a catheter 24/7 because she couldn't control her bladder anymore. She was wearing nappies. We had to learn how to control her bowel movements. We had to learn how to do physio. To me, the worst thing was when she had to go for maybe testing, or they had to do the physio, or she had to get into the wheelchair. When she started crying and she didn't want to do it. She turned 3 on the 20th of May, which was on a Saturday, and we decided to have a big party. And it's my birthday too, so we had like a double party. So we had a children's party for her in the afternoon and a braai in the evening. And the Sunday morning when we woke up, I saw that she was a little bit fluish, and I immediately gave her some medication. Her spinal doctor at the time said, please do not let her get the flu because her lungs, because of a high injury, her lungs are not that strong. She doesn't breathe with all of her lungs. She only breathes with the top part of her lungs. Thursday morning when we woke up, I moved her into my room at the time, and she was breathing a little bit funny, like she was gasping. And when we got to the hospital, they said that one of her lungs already fell flat. She had to go to Bloemfontein with the ambulance. And doctor came in and he sat down. He said, well, he's very sorry, but she didn't make it. Anyway, so the doctor said, he said we needed to go to, there's like a different, a smaller room, almost like a little waiting room. And we stepped in there, but I don't know, I just had this feeling in my heart. In the ambulance, Nastasia already started aspirating some, she started vomiting, and she aspirated some of that. And by the time she got to the hospital, she was already dead, and they tried everything to resuscitate her, and but she didn't make it. And then they said, but if we want to, the first thing I said is, can I please see her? And she was behind the curtain, and they haven't taken out her pipes and things yet, so she was lying on the bed. And all I wanted to do was just pick her up, which I did. And the first thing I remember the most is she had this hospital thingy on, and as I picked her up, her backside was still warm. And I thought to myself, how can my child be dead and she's still warm? And that's when, as we walked into the room and I was holding her and crying, that was the worst night ever. It was even worse than the accident. It was the worst night ever in my life. And I will not wish that upon anybody. At the time, I was terribly angry. I mean, my child just went, a year before, was in a terrible car accident in which she got paralyzed. And then a year later, she dies due to a cold. And I was extremely angry. I felt like I was, almost like it was unfair. And I went through this whole trauma, and then she died anyway. It sounds terrible to say, but that's how it felt. It was like, okay, thank you for saving my child, but now suddenly she's gone anyway. So why did I have to go through this whole journey if this was how it was supposed to end anyway? And it took me a while. It took me almost a year to get to a better space. I like Hollywood stars. I like movies in particular. And I like the whole glamorous thing. So my bit of guilty thingy that I have. So Nastasia, there's a model called Nastasia Kingsky. So, and the name just stuck with me. I heard about her and I'm like, it's a unique name. And I didn't want to do the family name thing. So and it was one thing that Dries also liked. He said, yeah, when I told him the name Nastasia, he was like, that's actually quite a different name because it's got an S in it. And he said, that's actually a nice name. Let's call her Nastasia. So that's how Nastasia got her name, after Nastasia Kingsky. It was just a very energetic child and very loved. I realized that I can't go through life being angry and saying, what if this happened and what if that happened? Because it's not going to make my life any better. I must just count my blessings because I have many. There's nothing worse out there than losing your child. So whatever it is, I can handle it. If I can get over losing Nastasia, I can get over anything. And this is how I still feel. There's nothing out there that can break me. If this can't break me, then it won't break me easily. I was blessed with 2 more daughters, Melissa, who's now 21, and Christy, who's 19. And you cannot find two different people in the world than these two. I always wonder how Nastasia would fit in, because, as I said, I've got two extremes. Even though you raise your kids the same way, they're just totally different. And Melissa's my more responsible one, and Christy is more the artsy, fly by the seat of her pants person. And then I always think, okay, so if I have this very responsible one and this one that I really worry about a lot, which Nastasia have been in the middle, or to which side would she have leant more? So, but those are the things you wonder about. But I was blessed with two beautiful daughters, and I can't be happier.
From the Bronkhorstspruit road traffic accident to the Cato Ridge tragedy and that of the Mayors, there's only one remaining truth. We all need to do more to ensure road safety. Road accidents do not just happen, we make them happen when we refuse to make road safety our priority. Our attitudes need to change, and we must do things differently. Road safety is not just the government's problem, it is our problem. Think. Do the right thing.
Sihlala sibathanda njalo, sihlala sibaseka njalo, ukuthi namaphupho abo abashiye nawo sizowaphetha.